liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming tonight. Thank you for wearing your masks. We're going to be going through that again, but hopefully everyone, we all do our part. We'll get through this next wave. We're going to start right off with our work session. And we have some people from the Action Club Baseball Project here tonight. And we're going to hear what they want to do with the ballpark. There's a microphone right up there. Paul, are you going to be the spokesman or him? I was hoping it wasn't going to be John Voss. Oh, hi, John.
Sure. Yes. Need names, addresses, all that for the record? Do you need names, addresses for the record?
What was that?
Do you need names, addresses for the record? Or?
I don't think Martha, you don't need them. But you do need to talk into that or we won't be able to.
What? All right. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to come and speak with everybody. We had submitted some information, Paul and I, about the proposed project to make improvements to the ball diamonds at Community Pool Park. And so did everybody get the package?
Yes. No, did you get your package? Everyone got their package? Yep. Okay, so just a brief synopsis.
Tim, I do have it up on the screen too. So if you want me to like move forward, I got everything you gave us is up there. If you need me to move forward and back while you're speaking.
Okay, well, it's our hope more to just kind of give a real brief summary of what it is, and then we're here to answer questions that people may have. It's pretty straightforward. So as we said in the letter, we just gave a little bit of background on what we're hoping to do. This started, well, it's been in Paul's on his wish list for a very long time, and it picked up a little bit of steam right before COVID. And now we're trying to start it up again. The first step is to try and raise funds for the project. The Kiwanis Club has taken the actions necessary for the foundation to be able to accept the donations. And so now we're ready to go to kick the project off, hopefully sometime after the first of the year. But before we do that, we just need to get the approval from the town board in order to be able to do that, to start to kick off the project to make the improvements at the ball diamonds in the town park, community pool park. Paul, did you have anything to add?
Right up to your mask because we can't hear through these darn masks. There you go.
I'm going to strangle myself with this thing. All the hearing aids come out. Oh, geez. Okay, the documents that you have, one relates to the improvement project itself, and it's bulleted with various items on it, mostly a rationale for why we're doing this. And it mostly is because we want to, the main part of the project is to create a grass-like turf on at least one field, if not two, depending upon the funds that are being generated. There's certainly a reason for it. I've had my kids play on the field 50 years ago. We've coached on that, and so has Tim played, and we've coached on the fields. We know what it's like in terms of the turf. No turf, just the dirt, and that it's much harder to play on, even if you're not disabled. Once you do have a disability, that's another dimension. So we're looking to try to improve the fields by having a grass-like turf installed in it. As Tim mentioned, the Kiwanis Club has agreed to receive the funds and be accept all the donations that come in. We've attached on the back of the project itself, you'll see what the turf looks like. It's not an AstroTurf. It's not just a very thin turf. It's over 2 inches thick. So it won't be creating very hard hits when it comes out. It should lessen the blow for anybody and be safer. The other sheet that you have is the improvement project plan. Talks about our first, second, third, and fourth months of trying to raise funds, what our tentative goals would be during those periods and what we try to accomplish during those periods of time. It's an ambitious goal. We haven't started yet, so we don't know where we're going to get, but we'd like your approval to go ahead and do so. Since the town does own those fields, we'd like to do what we can to improve them. Anything else? Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, Jim.
Well, first of all, I can't speak for the rest of the board. I'm in total support of what you want to do. And I think it's a great idea and a great addition for that park. There's a lot of legal questions that we have to get through as we go forward. And I think the process, and I'd have to ask our town attorney, I think the process is if it's town-owned property, the town would have to do the bidding for the repair or for the installation, and would have to accept the money as a gift from the Kiwanis Club. Is that correct, Ron?
That's correct.
Okay, so you'd have to raise the funds and then donate them to the town specific to doing that project.
Correct. That's what we understand too.
Okay. And unfortunately, you get into prevailing wage and all the other laws that we have to adhere to by New York State, which costs the project more money, but it's what we have to do. And I'm not too sure what else we'd have to look into. I think we talked a little bit about it today. If there was going to be naming rights, is there got to be a contract with the, if you have a donor that wants the naming rights, there has to be a contract. Is the contract with the town? Is it with you? Is it in, how many years? There's a lot of things that we need to get through. I'm not too sure we need to vote or we could even vote right now on whether we say we'll accept the money. I think we'd go on and continue to raise the money. When you had the money and the plans, then we would have that meeting, right? Am I missing anything here, Ron? Or?
Well, I think you can commit to the the proposal so that they have the ability to raise the funds. I think that can be done with a simple agreement.
So we would need an agreement
Correct.
that we would accept,
in the
if they
event-
did the fundraising, we would accept their funds for that particular project.
Correct.
And is that something that Joel?
We can
put together?
prepare.
Okay. So we would need to maybe sit down with you guys sometime, have a meeting and get all the particulars and have the attorneys draw it up. I'd like to hear from the rest of the board, though. I'm kind of,
Yeah, no, I'm excited about the project. I think it's great. And I'm not sure how specific you really need to get with the agreement, except that, that we'd accept putting in the artificial turf baseball field and one or two, whatever we decide.
Yeah, same here, of course. I don't know. We spoke about this at an earlier meeting, so nothing has changed, but it's a great project and thank you guys for doing the work.
what do you think?
I'm all for it.
I know we talked to Dave Gunner earlier on. Maybe we had a meeting, maybe it was 2 years ago.
A year and a half, I think.
Yeah, this
and
is
there-
'cause of
there-
COVID, it was
Is there some
postponed.
in kind that the town can also?
Sure, yeah, there is some in kind. It's not as great as you'd think because the materials of the turf itself are quite a lot of the cost. So it's a large material project. But of course, anything we can do to help, we would.
Okay.
But still, it's a lot of money to raise to even get to that though. So
And I think it kind of complements what we, and Deputy Supervisor Schneider has started a revitalization of that park. And we're in the midst of trying to come up with a plan with that. So it kind of complements everything that we want to do down there. So I would have no problem sitting down with you guys and putting something together.
Yeah, we acknowledge there's a lot of details to work out going forward and welcome the opportunity to sit down and work through those. In the meantime, we just thought it was a good first step to get going with the fundraising. So that's why we're here today. Thank you.
Yeah, as far as the fundraising, I would say go at it if you can, if you're ready to go.
Do we need anything formal from the town to be able to solicit
We'll
those
start
funds?
working on it, but I mean, talking to the board and I'll reach out to future board. I would imagine thumbs up. Yep, thumbs up on that. So
It's not official.
it's not official yet, but you'd be hard pressed to say no to something like this. Is a great addition for the town and for our folks in the Action Club and that. And I think it's something we'd all like to do.
But just one thing, Paul and Tim, the funds are gonna go to the foundation first.
Correct.
So you're gonna collect the funds and at some point in time, could be 6 months from now, then you would present it to the board or a year from now, right?
Correct.
And we wouldn't need the funds until you had enough of the funds.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, or maybe,
And
yeah,
Yeah.
as Jim says, maybe until we're sure that it's gonna happen, we're gonna move forward, because that did come up in the meeting that we had Saturday, was what if?
I did take the liberty to call our CDBG liaison or the man that's in charge, which is our community block grants program. And that's federal, but so really he said that there was maybe some state money involved or state grants that are around. So I talked with Martha today, who is our grant writer, and we're going to pursue looking into seeing if there's any monies from the state that would qualify for this.
That would be very helpful.
This project would qualify for. So
One of the things we did learn from one of the people on our committee, who was also a grant writer, was that we really could use something official from the board that would allow her to go ahead and
Okay.
apply for those
Well,
grants.
That's the thing that we'll work on.
Okay.
We just need to know what you exactly need, and maybe we set up a meeting after the holidays and
I don't, it's whatever you guys need, I think, but maybe we could work on a memorandum of understanding, which is not legally binding, where you could take that and show to your donors. It might make it easier to get
Help.
those donations.
Yes, that would help.
So we just have a document between us. This is what we would like to do, and you at least have that. I don't know what you need for the grants, though. That might be something a little more
Are
serious.
you looking at like the Wilson Foundation grants?
It's one of
That
them.
window is pretty short though, right now. Was it like December 6th or?
That, we did look into that just unofficially, kind of to see if it was possible. Our proposal wouldn't qualify in the opinion of the person that we're dealing with in our committee that will be writing grants. So that's not that particular Wilson Foundation grant. There may be others through the Wilson Foundation that we are going to pursue.
What else do you guys need from the town for this project? I mean, at this
That's it
stage,
as
obviously,
far
there's
as
going to be a lot moving
memorandum.
forward, but I mean, it's a lot of work.
Well,
And
we have had meetings with Dave, and there's been some really, I think, very positive things that we've
Yeah,
talked
I
about
think
that could
you've
enhance
got
the
some
project.
budgetary numbers already. Tim's been over there numerous times with the plan. I know he's worked with Chuck with the master improvement plan to make sure the footprint works. I think that you have everything ready, Paul. It's just a matter, like you said, having something to show your donors that the town's willing to do it if you're successful,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you guys want to, I don't know who, I can work on the memorandum of understanding with you and with Joel. If you want to move forward like that, we'll get one in place to present to the board.
So what we're talking about then is an MOU for us to be able to raise the funds. And then there would be other discussions for all the naming rights and different things like that separately from that as part of that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if we should talk to your grant writer, maybe, and she has a better idea of what specifically you need to write the grants. But I don't know, in my experience, right, you want to have some sort of document that shows that the town has an interest in the project.
Yep.
And for that, because there's not much we can commit to right now. I mean, there's so many ifs. So the memorandum of understanding would be I guess, the appropriate document, unless Ron, you think otherwise, or Joel. So that way you've got something on paper and it's something that we can do at this point.
Sure. That's why we need something.
Right.
So
It's
this
not
is
so specific because it'll take time to get specific.
Right.
correct. Okay.
So what we can do is I'll contact Joel and we'll get him, and then we'll set up a meeting to sort of, that we have something maybe to go forward with.
Yeah, sooner the better. We'd like to get started right at the first of the year if possible.
Yep.
With the effort, or as soon as we get something in place.
Yep. So, well, yeah, working on it. It's going to be pretty tight. We'd have to get it approved at a meeting. So we'll have to have it, probably the goal to get it by the second week of December, at least a first draft, so the board can take a look at it. If that's the schedule.
I don't think it needs to be that specific.
No, I'm thinking a one pager or something that you can use, but let's try to aim to get it for by the Friday, the first Friday would be then, or the second Friday.
Next meeting's the 13th,
Right.
so
I think the simpler.
So the 10th.
better, And
10th would be the deadline, so we can put it on the agenda, or probably the 9th, so Martha doesn't kill us, but the 9th would be the deadline then to get it on the work session for the 13th meeting. Eighth.
Wednesday, date.
Yeah. I can't hear. I think she said 9th, but
Okay, that Paul will be out of town, so I'll be taking the lead.
yeah, we can Zoom too if you want to, but
I'm available. I'll pass your house 3 times a day or whatever, walking the dog.
so
So,
let's, yeah,
Uh,
you have my number. Let's set up a time.
Yes.
Pretty broad.
yep,
so,
I agree.
you know,
Whatever's easiest, but I'll make myself available for
Yeah,
face to face.
Yeah, step one, I'll talk to Joel. We'll get something down, send it to the board here for email approval, and then we'll get it over to you. And we can, if we have to talk, we'll talk.
I will be available by email too, so that we can't communicate.
Great.
That'd be great.
hey, thank you to all of you guys. for
Yeah.
doing that work. I really appreciate it.
Gentlemen.
Thanks.
We'll be happy when we get the money and get it in.
Okay, next on the agenda. The employee policy, the abuse prevention and the background screening. Call me if you need it. Actually, I just put it on there to see if there were any questions. If not, I'd like to vote on those tonight and get those, put that on the agenda and vote on those. Is there anything? We had Jolene look at them and she was okay with them. It does spell out the costs,
The
cost of the backgrounds and everything. If you
We-
look at-
does the consent that we voted on last meeting apply to this background screening? Is there anything else we would need for that consent form? Because we
No.
approved that last meeting,
We approved that last meeting.
and that's sufficient to go forward with this program, or to change that to be made to it?
No, that's sufficient. So if there are no questions on that, then we'll just add that to the agenda. Okay with that?
Yep.
Next, we have our health insurance changes, and I would. Kathleen was nice enough to come in this evening and go over the renewal.
Hi, everyone. So I will say first and foremost that Heartloft Benefits has been wonderful. We had our first employee meet with them over this past weekend about some issues, and I got rave reviews on how helpful they are. So we're very happy with Heartloft Benefits. So since we switched them in October, we met with her again in early November, and she came up with these. April Hartloff is the owner. She came up with these recommendations. We currently offer 2 plans, and she is recommending that we offer 3 more. Now, the silver POS 8100 is what we offer now. And one of the reasons we offer that is because the premium is covered in full by the town contribution. Originally, April thought, and as time goes on, the coverage gets less rich and less rich. So originally it was like an 80-20 insurance, and now it's like a 60-40. I still think we should keep that as per my memo because the premium is covered in full. She suggests we offer the silver POS 7100, the gold classic, which is a basic middle of the road. And then the PPO plus, as I said, would only be offered to retirees that move outside of the coverage area, which is the 8 counties of Western New York. And currently that's 2 employees that we have. One of the employees, I don't think will take it. They use their own state marketplace. Does anybody have any questions about these plans? I didn't know what you guys were thinking about offering so many. My thought was this year, let's do it. And if no employee takes them, we don't have to offer them in the future. But this way we can get a gauge as to where everybody is and how much they're willing to pay out of pocket, if they are willing to pay out of pocket. Otherwise, they can even keep the silver POS 8100.
Sounds reasonable.
I think so too. The other thing she suggested was that we offer the HSA, and that would only be for the high deductible plans. Again, she would take care of everything with the employees. We would just do the payroll deductions, and it's a win-win because it would save taxes for the employees and save taxes for the town. So I wanted to make sure that that was okay, that we go forward with that as well. And this would all be with a 1/1 renewal.
This is something that we used to do in-house.
Well, we used to do an HRA, and we used to fund that as the town. This is completely funded by the employees. We don't fund it in any way, shape, or form. We just are the payroll administrator for their deductions. Any questions on that part?
Oh, very good.
And then last but not least, though, we have our current dental and vision with Guardian, and our renewal is a 7/1. And for years, I've been saying how expensive they are. So she looked over our plans, and she is suggesting that we offer 2 dental plans with Delta Dental and a Blue Cross Blue Shield. They did a census to see what everybody was using, what participators they were using, and she suggests offering both so that nobody has to lose their provider. And I agree with that. And also getting rid of Guardian. Guardian would not do a 1/1 renewal for us. She's trying to get us on a 1/1 renewal for dental and vision as well, so that we're all on a calendar year with all our insurances, which makes life easier for everything.
And you can cancel on 1/1 if we switch to another plan.
Yes. Yes. And then vision, she recommends, as per the memo, VSP, a little bit of a richer plan. Prices she puts us to 4 tiers versus single and family. So an employee plus spouse will be cheaper than a family. Single may pay a little bit more, but the coverage is richer. Any questions?
No,
I know it
sounds
can
good.
be confusing. I'm very happy with it. I think these offerings are great. I think she's very thorough. She's spending a lot of time with us. And she's very willing to spend a lot of time with the employees. We're going to do an open enrollment meeting. And then she is willing to schedule one-on-one with any employees that prefer to do it one-on-one.
They are nice to work with.
Very. And she works with a lot of municipalities as well, and only does small groups. So.
All right.
Thank you, Kathleen.
I think Kathleen's also gonna talk about the Microsoft. Right?
Yes. Okay, so our office suite is very outdated. We're currently using 2010, and in some of the municipalities, not ours, Nick Federo, our IT consultant, said they've been receiving errors that it's no longer supported. So bottom line is we have to purchase new office suites. They don't do it with licenses. Back in 2012, we bought licenses. Now they do it as a subscription. So it's $12. Oh, I don't have it in front of me. It's $12 per. Right. It's 7. He can buy 7. There's 7 licenses. He can get 7 licenses. Each license has 5 users on it. So that's how we figured out we would have enough doing it that way. But when you get the subscription, you're constantly getting the security patches. If they upgrade Office Suite again, they would automatically give you the upgrade as well. You wouldn't have to buy another license. It's just a continual subscription service.
58 for the year for
Right.
everybody.
I think so too. And my thought was get in again, as much as we can this year, but it's a subscription service, so we'll have to commit to it for next year too. But he would like to get it started right away. He's concerned that if people start going on their emails and getting these error message, we'd have to, access the emails remotely. So he would like to get moving on this.
Did we include the laptops on there and the number?
Yes. Everything. Yep.
And
We have
how many-
7 laptops.
7 laptops?
Mhm.
Any other questions? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. We'll move on. Our part-time assistant code enforcement officer would like us to appoint James Kittner to the other part-time position at a rate of pay of $20.60 per hour. He's a current employee of the Highway Department, looking for a new challenge. He's retired from the town of West Seneca, and serving a variety of positions, and brings a wealth of knowledge and experience with him. I sat in on the interview, and he interviewed just well. He's just he's a nice guy, and I think he'll take the job very seriously. So I'm hoping you guys will go along with that.
Yeah.
Liz is not here tonight. She couldn't be here tonight, but she thanked the board for the consideration.
And he'll keep working at the highway as well.
No, he won't. This is a new chapter, but he's been a great employee. We hate to lose him, but he's gonna do better things.
Okay.
All right, next is the Community Development Block Grant Agreement with the county in the town of Aurora for improvements to the Aurora Senior Center. And the scope of the service would be to purchase and install MERV 13 air filters, pressure differential gauges to increase outside air incoming in, programmable thermostats, UVC light air treatment systems for existing HVAC systems, and install touchless faucets in the laboratories and restroom areas. And they're doing this as a grant. Oh, there's a cost in here somewhere. Is it on the end, Martha? Total funds were $27,000. Is that correct? $27,601. And this is through a grant through the CDBG. We also be looking at another CDBG grant, Donna, for the doors, and my conversations with Paul, our rating is getting higher, and we would probably qualify for that this year too. He couldn't guarantee that, but he's predicting it. So these are great improvements, all to do with some of the COVID things that we're dealing with. And so we kind of identified the things that we'd like to upgrade there, and they went along with. So any questions on that?
Can you explain the difference between the MERV 13 and the MERV 12?
I'm sorry,
Difference between the MERV 12s and the MERV 13s? What are the latest updates in
what's
the?
the difference? One.
Pretty fancy though, I'll just say, over in the senior center, the
They're-
MERV
they're-
13s,
they're
yeah.
supposed to be, these high efficiency filters that one more
Yeah, no, it's-
blanket of insulation to the virus. So who knows? Who knows? All right, we'll put that on the agenda. This is, next one was the copy leases and the copier leases, and this is from Martha. And Martha, they went up a little bit. Is that just because it's been such a while, or 5 years? Yeah. So we're going up from $268.97 the 388.
And we're also getting a larger copier for the building department so they can handle larger pieces of paper for the prints.
No, that's not bad. Any questions on that? All right. Next, Jennifer Brazil has put in a application or resume for the Open Space Committee. And you read her resume. I think she'd be a good fit. The only thing we don't know right now, and Martha, and we're gonna research it, is we don't have the dates of when everyone terms out yet. Correct, Martha, is it? And so what we would do is just a kind of a tentative approver of her being on open space, and maybe we do it on the reorg chart for the first year.
Yeah, do we want to maybe appoint her as an absentee today or not? Yeah. And then Then we'll do the
only thing
reorg.
is we can't, if we appoint her tonight, we have to appoint her to a date, a term. Starting, because she has to sign a pledge card. So she has to say, okay, we were appointing her for starting today and either finishing someone else's term or for the term to 2015, whatever. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we
So
couldn't do
we
it from
just have
now
to
until
figure
the,
that out,
yeah,
But we can tell her that she was tentatively approved, but we'll just put it on the reorg. It's only a month. Only 1 month till January, so.
yeah. So with these committees again, right? What is regulating each of the committees? Because this one is not in the town code. There are some that are in the town code, but we still keep track of this one, right?
This one kind of, I
The
think,
town, when they're in the town code, it's usually dictated by New York State town law. Like if you have the planning board, their committee, conservation, that's in New York State town law. The town board can appoint any committee they want,
Right.
and they did that many years ago for the Open Space Committee. And they have the guidelines of how it's gonna be set up. So many people are appointed to serve 2 years and then 3 years.
Do
We
we-
don't know who's on there right now and what terms are.
Yeah. Is that on the website, the town code, or whatever that decision was? Is that in the town code right now?
The open space?
Yeah.
No, this is not, it wasn't a local law or anything. It was just. it
Just
was
a
committee
resolution,
That
or-
was formed. It's in the town minutes.
And in there, they have the terms and everything like that?
Yep.
they really don't have any,
It was prior
Authority.
to 2010.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking we should, if it is, I mean, we should definitely pull it up, but it's probably easier to have.
we just have to again go through.
We know what the terms are. We don't know who's in them right now.
We've had a lot of people come and go, and we don't
Yeah.
have, for some reason, it's hard to. Once Nancy Smith left.
Yeah.
She was kind of the glue to that committee for a while.
Yeah, no, it just seems like we're in this pseudo sort of state with them because we don't quite know and they're not really, well, they are an official committee, but we can't really point to where
They're
they,
not a- They don't make any decisions, really.
right. Well, then neither does,
They
you know,
bring things to the
they're
board.
advisory, yep,
Yeah.
just like the planning committee, right? So,
Okay. Good. So we'll just kind of, we won't vote on her tonight, but I'm gonna put her on the reorg once we figure out what term we can give her.
so if you,
I just want to add one thing. I do have a letter from the president of the library. And with regret, Dr. Richard Weason is going to resign due to health reasons. So we can vote on that resignation, but we also have, if you look to your third page on that, we also have Adam Zerminski, who they're recommending for us to appoint to that board. So That's actually K and L that I added tonight. So unfortunately, and I wish the best to Dr. Richard Gleason. Best in his future. I thank him for his service. Lucky enough, we have Adam that's stepped right up to the plate, and we can do that appointment tonight, and then I will just add that to the reorg again in January. Everyone good with that? Did everyone get one of these? Did I?
It was just over one. I
Oh, I'm
got it.
sorry.
Thanks.
If you look at it, Sue, the third page is Adam's resume. And then
Oh, Adams.
everyone good with that?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So if is there anybody have anything else for the work session?
There's just two things that maybe we'll talk about now, that I brought up. The first one is holiday decorations. Do we ever think about putting some holiday decorations up on this building?
We can, lights. I don't know if we.
So we got them in the highway garage, looks nice
I don't know if
and
we have
just
them, or
something.
we have to look into that. You guys,
We don't have them. The ones on the highway, we replaced recently because they're LED now. And they can cost quite a bit. I think 60 foot of LEDs is like $100. You know, you don't want to get the old kind that you're changing bulbs all the time. But if you guys want lights, where do you want to put them?
Yeah, what were you thinking?
I mean, I don't know, at least something, right? You can put them over the door. I don't know how you can get as fancy as you want to, right? But just something, be nice to get some lights up there.
we don't have to get overboard with it. I suppose put a little up, maybe a tree in the foyer.
I would suggest if the department heads want something done, like Martha, put in a work order, what you want done, and we'll do it if that's what the board wants. But, you know, I
Usually the department heads decorate their own offices. I think Luke's talking about exterior.
Exterior, yeah.
Yeah, we put the candles in the windows.
We'll see,
Yeah.
maybe something over the doorways of both the village and town, or something. We'll look at that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a bad idea.
yeah. So a lot of towns do it.
We
that,
could
you
get
know.
some wreaths or something.
What's that?
We could get some wreaths or something.
Yeah,
But we couldn't do what Dave says, you had, what, $100 for 60 feet, because we don't have it in the budget anymore this year, so.
That's what I was getting. I know my
Yeah.
budget's pretty tapped. It's the end of the year. If you
We
got
can,
money.
we'll figure out something.
Yeah, and Martha, if you could just let me know what you want done down here. I think it'd look good, like in the entrance maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Luke, if you want to be Santa Claus, we can, you know.
I'm trying to grow out my beard. I'm at a point now where I haven't been able to shave it. It's not long enough yet. And
Or we could take the lights off the highway garage and move them down here. If you wanna-
Do you-
well, yeah, the senior center too, right? Would be a good, yeah, yeah.
Maybe we can put some cheaper ones on the inside of the windows, you know, facing Oakwood. They don't have to be outside.
Right, there's a spirit, Donna. There we go. Good. Yes, yeah. You can even put them up inside in the windows, you know, around the windows, but yeah.
I think, because we're getting close, but maybe it's a good thought for even future. you
Yeah.
know, to maybe
Well, we start this year and if we want to put more on, we can. The second, speaking of village paying for things, the second issue was we approved the Hamlin Park agreement. But when we were approving the bills again, I noticed that it's phone, gas and electric that we're paying for in the park, and that was not a part of the agreement. So we've now entered in, now we're entering into, or have we signed that? Or did you sign that? Did the village
I
approve
didn't
it?
send it to the village.
Yeah.
We're waiting for them to look at it. But the utilities are next,
Minimal.
I think next to nothing.
Well, it's a couple hundred a month, right? If we're looking at,
We don't do it in the winter.
Because you've got electricity for the courts, there's a South Grove something, there's the main building. Then you've got a phone in there, which I guess phone we could pay for, but then you've also got I think it's more of if we have an agreement with them and we are mowing the lawn for them providing it to us, really, we don't have any basis to pay for their electricity and gas.
Well, the rec department. I don't know about gas. I
That's for the building that the recreation department uses. The electricity that we pay for is the one court. Basketball court.
Well,
We-
that's fine, but we would want it in the agreement. If it is everything that we're using, wouldn't we still want that to be in the agreement?
I mean,
Otherwise, what is our basis for paying for, you can pay for electricity in my house then too, right? Like if you got no basis to do it, we want it in the agreement.
You're bringing this up after I've already sent them the agreement.
I know, I had just, as we looked, I brought it up before and I forgot about it. You're right. But now after looking over the bills, I'm just thinking, do we want to maybe contact the village before they sign it to add that in there?
I'd like to see what do we know the utility costs for that?
We can pull it.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head.
I'll take a look at it.
It would be the right thing to do, right? Because we've been paying it for years.
Put an addendum
Yeah,
to our little agreement.
yeah. And then when we move out, are we going to continue to pay it?
I didn't.
If we move out and go to the
If we don't use the, I don't know if we're moving out, and I don't want to give the village a wrong idea that we're moving out. There might be a time in that we think that we can maybe put our rec department down there, but we're certainly not that close right now, and I don't want to start that rumor
no.
till we know that's absolutely gonna happen. But I also want them to know, I don't want them building a new building just for us, just in case, so we should just buy their time, right?
I see what Luke is saying, is just put it in. I don't think you're saying that we're not gonna pay it, just that it's in there.
Right. Yeah, we have an agreement so we can regulate our relations related to Hamlin
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
We have an agreement now, but we forgot to
Which
add this part. Let's put it in there because,
And with the understanding that we pay it,
correct,
right, Luke? Is that what you're saying?
correct.
Or are you
I'm
saying that
surprised
we
they
don't
didn't
pay
put
it?
Why don't you just call the utility and switch the bill?
What's that?
Why don't you just switch the bill?
From us to the village?
What's that? No, I'm just saying.
I'm with Jim. I
You
mean,
move
we've
into
gone
a new
through all this stuff
apartment, it's not a big
and
deal.
for what, $150 a month? I mean,
Well,
Let's
let's look at the costs. I'm not saying that we don't pay it, but if we are paying it, we do want to have it in the agreement. It's a,
understand that we pay it.
yeah.
Anything else?
No,
All right. So nothing?
Nope.
All right, we'll go right into our regular meeting then. There are no public hearings tonight, so I'll move for the approval of the November 8th, 2021 work session and meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Next, we have audience. This is an opportunity to address the board on any of the items that are on the agenda. Looks like we have anybody. Unfinished business. We talked about the employee policy, the abuse prevent. Employee abuse prevention in the, well, I guess we'll do one at a time, probably be the best thing. All that noise. So what we're doing here is I'll read the resolution. And then we vote on the resolution, and then we'll vote on the public hearing, setting the public hearing. So with the employee policy abuse prevention, now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Aurora hereby declares itself as lead agency for seeker reviews.
Just got the wrong- You're on the, that's for the local laws. The abuse is, policy is just to adopt the abuse policy. It's 4A.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Got ahead of myself. Okay, the employee policy abuse prevention. Sorry about that. It's A. And this is the policy that we looked at last meeting. Julian wanted to go over the costs of the background checks and how it applied to our rec department and so forth. She was satisfied. I think we talked about this in the work session. So I would entertain a motion to adopt the employee policy abuse prevention policy.
So moved.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second? Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. And now we'll do the background. Screening. And I don't think there's anything that stood out on this one. We went through this. Do I need a motion to adopt the background screening policy?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. And next, we have the local laws. So the ODA amendments, okay? C1, now I'll read the, now therefore be resolved. That the town board, town of Aurora hereby declares itself as lead agency for seeker review purposes and hereby determines that the purpose action is a type 1 action. We have to do two motions, Martha, or just,
You have to, yes, you have to adopt the seeker resolution
Okay.
and then set the public hearing.
all right. Now, it shows that we have to have a roll call, but we really don't. So I'll entertain a motion to adopt the resolution for the ODA amendments.
So moved.
Motion by Sue,
I'll second.
second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? And that is carried. And now we need a motion to set the public hearing. That be for December 13th, Martha?
Yes.
December 13th. I think you had it 7:00.
7 PM.
7 PM. So motion to set the public hearing for the ODA amendments and December 13th at 7 PM.
So
Do I have a
moved.
motion?
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed, and that's carried. And now the smoking and vaping. We have both the seeker and setting the public hearing. Martha, do we have to,
It's 4C-2.
right, but do we have
Yeah.
to, okay, actually. All right. All right, for the resolution, now therefore be it resolved, the town Board of Aurora hereby declares itself lead agency for seeker review purposes and hereby determines that the following action is classified for smoking and vaping. Do I have a motion to adopt that resolution?
So moved.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried.
Just one question. Martha, when Joel talked to you, was there 30 days for the lead agency
Just for,
taking?
it was just for the first one, which is a type 1 action. The rest of them are,
But there's 30 days when someone else can object to being lead agent?
for the first one because it's type 1. For the unlisted,
Okay,
no.
okay. Just want to make sure.
Then we had the public hearing, set the public hearing for the smoking and vaping. That would be also December 13th. And do you have that at 7:05?
Yep.
7:05. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck, any
Second,
second by Luke, any discussion? All in favor?
Wait, I got a quick question. Would it behoove us to just say they're all at 7 o'clock? So that, you know, what we end up doing is sitting here waiting for 4 minutes.
I'm
of
going on the
nobody's
recommendation of Joel, so.
Does it matter if we
7:01.
would say they're all at 7,
7.
They
7:01.
right? Because I feel like nobody comes and then we sit here looking at each other. 4 minutes.
As long as they're not before 7, it doesn't matter, right?
Oh, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I'm
Is that
fine with
right?
it, yeah.
So can we make it at 7?
You don't want to just sit here and look at your watch?
No, I mean,
You're right.
All right. So we'll make that 7 o'clock. And I had a motion, I believe,
Yes.
and a second, and we had discussion. All in favor?
I,
Opposed, and that is carried. And now the resolution for the special events. Now therefore be resolved, Town Board, Town of Aurora hereby declares itself lead agency for seeker review purposes and hereby determines the purpose action is an unlisted action. Do I have a motion to adopt the special events resolution?
so moved.
Motion by Luke, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. And now to set the public hearing for the special events would be December 13th at 7 PM. Do I have a motion to set that public hearing?
so moved.
Motion by Sue, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck, any discussion? All in favor? Aye, opposed, and that is carried. Thank you. It's confusing. Got it. So in new business, we want to add H and I, or I'm sorry. K and L. I'm having a good night tonight. The resignation and the appointment for the library. Do I have a motion to add?
Motion to add them to the agenda.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
aye.
Opposed? That is carried. What did we decide to do with the Action Club Baseball? Table that?
I think we're gonna put an
So,
MOU
we have an
together and
agreement?
then vote on it hopefully on the 13th.
Okay. I have a motion to table.
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second by Sue. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, and that is carried. 4B is our health insurance that have been went over with us. Are there any questions? If not, we have a motion to accept the health insurance as listed.
So moved.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. And then the Microsoft Office upgrade for a total of $168 per year. Is that correct?
just for the remainder of this year.
What's that?
That's just for the remainder of this year.
Remainder of this year. So then it's $12 a month per.
Per times 7, so it's gonna be like $1,008 a year.
Correct. Well, the motion to carry it through this year at the cost of $168.
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Wait a second.
Second.
Second by Sue. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that is carried. Next. The Assistant CEO appointment, code enforcement of James Kittner. And it costs of $20.60 per hour, effective 11/29/2021. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sue. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. The CDBG grant and agreement for the purchase of the items that were listed in our work session. Do I have a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Chuck. Do I have a second? Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. And a motion to enter into the copier lease at a cost of $388 a month. With Kaneki, is that the name of the
Sharp.
company or is it?
Sharp
Oh,
and
sure.
Eagle Systems, the lease is through Sharp. Eagle Systems is the maintenance agreement.
Oh, that's the maintenance agreement, okay. So is there gonna be two? Can we do two motions, Martha? or-
Yeah.
So the lease is for $388 a month. Do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Motion by Sue, do I have a second?
A second.
Second by Chuck, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion, let's see. To approve Eagle Systems for the maintenance for a cost of $920 annually. We have a
So moved.
motion to approve. That's Sue and Luke. Yep. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. All right, budget transfer. This is from Elizabeth Cassidy in the building department. We have a motion to approve the budget transfer as listed.
So moved.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion? Favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. H, we have a budget transfer. That's from Kathleen Moffett. And this is for a correction in the deputy and the town attorney. We have a motion to approve as listed.
So moved.
So moved.
I'll second.
Luke and Chuck. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that is carried. Next, we have the Board of Assessment Review appointments. Just Glenn?
Yeah, Glenn is the only one that needs to be reappointed.
Okay, so Glenn's term, Glenn Deemer, 85 Deepwood, East Aurora. Term ending November 30th, 2021. When would we appoint? What's the length of his appointment?
To September 30th, 2026. It's up at the top right.
So right here.
Yep.
So from October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2026. Well, that's a 5-year. Any questions on Glenn?
Nope.
If not, we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Sue. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. And next, we have a request from the Assessor's Office. There's a holiday luncheon on December 7th, 2021. They would like permission to close the Assessor's Office for a few hours from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. so that they can attend. It's at the Roycroft, so it's just around the corner. There won't be any drive time. There'll be no charge to the town for the lunches. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Chuck. Do I have a
Second.
second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that is carried. And next, we have the unfortunate resignation of Dr. Richard Beeson from the library board. Due to health reasons, he needs to resign. So I have a motion to accept that resignation.
So moved.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and that's carried. And then an appointment to serve out the rest of his term, which is till the end of the year. And then we would reappoint Adam Zermensky for the following term. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Chuck. Any discussion?
I know he's going to be listening to this, so it's quite unfortunate we could not ask him questions about his policy on how he sees the library moving forward when he's listening. Adam, you can feel free to give us those comments at a later time. And this should not be front page news. Let's just be,
Anybody else? All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and it is carried. Next, we have communication and reports. We have the October 2021 Rec Senior Center, East Aurora Police and Supervisors Report. And we also have the October newsletter for the Aurora Historical Society. Next, we'll go to business from the board members, and I'll start with Councilman Snyder.
Only to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Sue?
Nope, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and a reminder that tomorrow at 6 a.m. we're back into masks indoors.
Yep. Congrats again to the final candidates. I think we had a good race. We all said that before, but now it's official. So to these two young gentlemen over here, we look forward to working with you. And of course, happy Thanksgiving.
Also like to congratulate Joe. Look forward to working with both you guys in the near future. Had the privilege of attending the veterans ceremony down at the American Legion. It was very well attended. And a special thank you and blessing to all our veterans. And also I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, and we are, if you saw the county executive, we are back into full mass. And hopefully that's as far as it goes. But we all can be considerate of each other, and maybe we can get through this without any other further restrictions. Next, we have audience, and that's an opportunity for anybody in the audience to address the board on any items whatsoever. Nobody?
Anyone online, use your hand raise function or the chat. Surprised that one person doesn't want to speak. But I guess. Okay,
Nobody?
yeah, no, Tony's on, but he didn't want to, he's not
Okay.
coming forward.
All right, we'll go to staff reports. Greg?
Been a few months, I just wanted to make an appearance tonight, so you guys remember my face. Wish the board a happy Thanksgiving from GHD, and hopefully you'll see me next, I'll be out next month for the public hearings on the adoption of the ODAs. If you need any assistance with the seeker processing that, GHD is always doing that.
It's- I don't remember the face with the mask on. Though. That's better. Shane?
No concern.
Nothing. Donna?
Well, I'm not real excited about the mask again, because we feel like the mask police, but people are fine.
Yeah. It's amazing that I haven't had any complaints. Actually, a few compliments. We were talking about that in the office today. So I think everyone's used to it.
They are, it's hard a little bit in the fitness room and different things like that, but people are just rolling.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Kathleen, anything? Okay. Dave?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Nothing. All right. Motion to approve the abstract.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Sue. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Oh,
And a
no.
motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Whoa.
For Joe.
Whoa. Do I have a
never get to
second?
make it when Joanne's here.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do when you girls are done? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's still want to keep them off here. That's tough for us. I'll see you tomorrow, right? Yep. See you tomorrow. Well, you know what? We're just- An hour later, I said, I bet you. Because it's a Wednesday night. Oh, I bet you was thinking. I put it on my phone. Because we were talking about it, like, yeah, history. But I did plan on making the next. Sorry, I'm over the phone.